I have a question. Are you a judge? You don't have any jurisdiction over me. I would argue you don't have any jurisdiction, okay? No, I'm Anthony Mathis, the living man, here in special appearance for Anthony Winston Mathis, also acting in my proper capacity of the trustee of the trust. If the plaintiff cannot come to court, then this shall be dismissed. That's failure.
Or you may walk a cash check or charge into the 44th District Court. Please don't interrupt.
We've got a sovereign citizen trying every trick in the book to avoid responsibility for a simple red light violation, but the judge isn't having any of it. To make things even worse for him, the officer who caught him in the act is present and ready to testify, making this an easy win under traffic laws. Instead of accepting the situation, he launches into a series of bizarre legal theories that have no basis in reality. His arguments are so absurd that it's hard not to shake your head. Let me know your thoughts on this wild court hearing in the comments, and if you enjoy content like this.
For Anthony Winston Mathis, also acting in my proper capacity of the trustee of the trust.
Very well, Mr. Mathis. Today's the date and time for your informal hearing. The citation before the court, Mr. Mathis, indicates that on May the 24th of this year, at approximately 9 p.m., you are operating a 2024 Ford Edge, black in color, on 11 Mile Road, air near Washington, in the city of Royal Oak. And at that place and time, you committed the civil infraction of impeding traffic. Impeding traffic, sir, is considered a lesser included offense within nearly any moving violation. And Officer Moran indicates in his detailed note that your vehicle was on East 11 Mile Road at Washington and disobeyed the traffic signal. The officer had a green arrow and therefore driver had a red light. Mr. Mathis, you have three options and three options only, sir, in the protection of your own rights. You may, sir, admit responsibility in this matter. The court will attach the scheduled fine and that will close the case. Or, Mr. Mathis, you may admit responsibility with an explanation that you believe mitigates these circumstances, or you have every right to deny responsibility, and the court will swear the parties and will take testimony. What would you like the court to do for you today?
Well, I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
The court does mind. You need to make a plea. I am required by law.
No, I don't plead to anybody. I only plead to the Most High. Who are you?
I am Magistrate William Urick, P43273. I am a sworn judicial officer of this district. We are here for your informal hearing that you requested. This court is required by law, procedure, and court rule to take a plea. The motorist requesting this informal hearing, that being you, must make such a plea. You may admit responsibility in this matter.
I don't plead to anybody but God.
You may admit with an explanation, or you may deny responsibility, and the court will swear the parties and will take proofs. What would you have the court do for you today?
I don't plead to anybody.
Very well. Officer Moran and Mr. Mathis, please raise your right hands.
I do have a question.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give before this court shall be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much.
Before we even get to the officer's testimony, I have to say, this judge is quickly becoming one of the best to watch. He's calm, direct, and completely unfazed by the sovereign citizen's arguments. And honestly, that's the best way to handle situations like this. Engaging in pointless debates only encourages their misguided beliefs, but watching the judge shut it down with patience and authority is incredibly satisfying. What do you think? Do you prefer judges who keep it cool and professional, or do you enjoy the ones who push back with a bit of attitude? Let me know in the comments, and let's dive back into it.
2024 at approximately 9 p.m. I, Officer Moran, was in the area of East 11 Mile in Washington when I observed 2024 Ford Edge, black in color, with Michigan plate Edward John Lincoln 6501. I was at the light at East 11 in Washington when I had the green arrow to turn. That vehicle then proceeded through the light. As I looked up at the traffic light, that light was red for that driver.
With respect to your selection of citation, you elected to simply issue a ticket for impeding traffic. Is that correct?
I did, Magistrate, at that time.
That's based on your discretion, your training, and your experience.
It is.
Thank you. You obviously have the right to rebuttal if you choose to use it, Officer Moran. Mr. Mathis, it is now your turn. What would you like the court to know, sir?
So, I have a question. Are you a judge?
Mr. Mathis, the court has already indicated it is a sworn judicial officer. It is exercising its jurisdiction lawfully over you. So questioning the court's
Yeah,
authority is,
you don't have any jurisdiction over me. I would argue you don't have any jurisdiction. Okay.
Mr. Mathis, the officer has already testified as to the facts of the case. It is now your turn to testify. You can tell the court anything you wish the court to know, focusing solely on the events of the date in question. What would you like to tell the court?
The plaintiff is the city of Royal Oak.
The defendant tries the classic sovereign citizen tactic, claiming the judge has no jurisdiction over him. But if that were true, why even show up? This argument falls apart every time because, in reality, the court clearly does have jurisdiction, especially over traffic violations in the state. If he truly believed otherwise, he could just ignore the fine and see how that works out. The rise of these sovereign citizen claims is getting out of hand, and it seems like more and more people are trying these tactics. At this point, it's hard to tell if this guy genuinely believes what he's saying or if he's just pretending. What do you think? Let's get back into it.
Geographically, or are you asking where it is in
Right
terms
now.
of who's present on behalf of the city of Royal Oak?
Where is the city of Royal Oak? Please bring the
Court doesn't understand your question. Are you asking where it is on a map or where is the officer?
No, I know exactly where it is on
Okay.
the geographic location, but where are they right now?
The officer is representing the city of Royal Oak as a sworn and certified Michigan peace officer. So what else would you like to tell the court, Mr. Mathis? And please, again, the court suggests that you focus on the events of the date in question.
Okay. Well, could you please bring forth the injured party? Was anybody injured?
This is not a tort case, Mr. Mathis. It is a case written
Well,
under the vehicle code
as I
of the
was
city of
traveling,
Royal Oak as it is adopted.
as I was traveling, the officer turned on the lights. No one was injured. So please bring forth the injured party. Based on the Constitution, the Sixth Amendment right, I have a right to face my accuser. If the plaintiff cannot come to court, then this shall.
Michigan law makes it clear, running a red light is an offense against public safety, not just an individual person. That means a case like this doesn't require someone to have been harmed for it to be valid. The state serves as the plaintiff in traffic cases because ignoring traffic laws puts everyone at risk, which is more than enough reason to bring it to court. It's unclear where this defendant got his legal advice, maybe from the internet or a sovereign citizen group, but either way, it's completely wrong. Let's get back into it.
If you can't bring forth the injured party, then this needs to be dismissed now.
Mr. Mathis, is there anything else you wish the court to know?
You guys can't bring anyone forward as far as the injured party. No one was injured. You guys.
Mr. Mathis, I will ask you one more time. The officer is representing the city of Royal Oak. This is not a case alleging physical harm or breach of contract.
Why are you trying to charge me?
This is a civil case
Why are you
under
trying
the
to
Motor
charge
Vehicle
me?
Code as it was decriminalized in 1979. This is a civil matter. The burden of proof is a preponderance of the evidence. The officer has testified as to what he observed, and it is now your turn to testify as to what occurred. There is no requirement under the rules of procedure, civil, in this operation as of today, that requires a quote unquote injured party to be present. The officer has stated very clearly and fairly and plainly what he observed that day. So as to your testimony related to the date in question, is there anything else you would like the court to know?
No, it isn't. If you guys can't bring any injured party,
Very
no
well.
one injured. You guys are
Officer
trying to-
Moran, any rebuttal testimony?
No rebuttal testimony.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mathis, the burden of proof in a civil case is a mere preponderance of the evidence. The officer, a duly sworn and certified Michigan peace officer representing the city of Royal Oak, which is one of two cities upon which this court has jurisdiction, has put his testimony forward. There is nothing in the record that has rebutted any of it. Therefore, the court is finding you responsible for the citation as it was written. The fine for that serves $175. That is payable
No, I
through
would
the
not.
pay portal on
I
the
would not.
44th
I would
District
not be.
Court website, or you may
Judge, I
walk a
would not be
cash
paying
check or
any fine.
charge into the
I would not be
44th
paying
District
any
Court.
fine.
Please don't interrupt the court, sir. You may walk a cash check or charge into the 44th District Court at 400 East 11 Mile Road, Monday through Friday, between 8:30 and 4:30. That's due within 7 days, Mr. Mathis. If you take exception to the court's ruling, you may post a bond in the amount of $175 within 7 days, and the matter will be placed upon the formal hearing docket of the Chief Judge of the District, and at that time, the City of Royal Oak.
The judge handed down a $175 fine, and honestly, that seems more than fair. It was a clear violation of traffic laws, and the judge didn't waste time entertaining the defendant's arguments, just straight facts and the law. In Michigan, traffic violations like running a red light are considered civil infractions, not criminal offenses, and fines like this serve to promote public safety. While sovereign citizen logic might make sense in their own circles, it holds no weight in an actual courtroom. While the judge handled the situation well, part of me wonders if he should have gone even further. The defendant was rude, disruptive, and repeatedly interrupted the proceedings. Judges have the authority to hold someone in contempt for disrespecting the court, and in this case, it might have been justified. It would have been interesting to see if a harsher consequence would have made him take the situation more seriously. What do you think? Was the fine enough? Or should the judge have taken stronger action? Drop your opinions in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbelievable court moments. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. See you in the next one.